So sometimes you might be down on yourself because you're having a rough day, or you're noticing that you're not quite as positive as you want to be. And guess what? That's totally fine. It's normal for us to have some thoughts sometimes that maybe aren't the most positive. However, what's not okay is, number one, for us to talk about those negative things, but also for us to continue to allow ourselves to stay in that negative place for too long. Now, what do I mean by this, right? First of all, did you know that we have between 60,000 and 70,000 thoughts that come in our mind every single day?
Wow!
And obviously, we are exposed to so much negativity on the news, on social media, just pretty much everywhere we go, right? We're seeing bad stuff. And so it's kind of normal for us to sometimes have negative thoughts that might arise. But what I have found is that the more that I'm really conscious of the thoughts that I have, and the more that I notice when they're not being positive, and then quickly try to make a change, the more happy and the more positive that I can be, right? So don't beat yourself up when you have negative thoughts, but try to notice when you do and try to turn them around and change them around. Also, don't speak them, right? We get what we say. We don't always get what we think, because sometimes we might think bad things, but as long as we can notice what we're thinking, stop that negative path, keep us from continuing to go down that negative rabbit hole, and make sure that we don't voice it, that's when we have issues, when we start voicing negative things. Do you ever hear people saying things like, oh, I always have a bad break, and this always happens to me, and blah, 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 blah. And guess what? Those negative things continue to happen to those people. Why? Because that's what they're always saying, and they're talking about them. So they're actually bringing in exactly what they are saying. So we want to make sure that we're focusing on saying good things like, I love myself, I have so much abundance, business is amazing, I have a great mindset, I love my marriage, I'm great at technology, marketing comes easily, business is attracted to me. I can go on and on and on and on, right? So what is it that you don't want? Don't focus on that. Focus on what it is that you want. Even if you feel like it's completely and totally, absolutely impossible for it to ever happen, if you think that all the time, but you say that and you voice that, the universe is giving you more of that. So do your best to notice what words are coming out of your mouth. You know, I was actually listening to Joel Osteen today. It was the April 10th episode. And it was such a great episode that talks about what we say to ourselves. And there's a lot of biblical terms that actually have to do with what we say and actually what our life ends up being like. So I want to really encourage you to watch what you say unless it's positive. Think about where you want to go, where you want to be, how you want your life to be, even during these crazy times right now during the coronavirus and the pandemic, right? It might seem impossible. You might think you're going to never get your job back or things are going to be just horrible. But if you voice that and you talk that and you think that and you let yourself go down this horrible rabbit hole, that is not helping you. It's holding you back. It's keeping you from proceeding. It's keeping you from seeing solutions on how to get out of the pandemic. We want to start thinking about solution-based thinking, right? We want to start thinking about things that we want. We want to bring our life more towards things that we want and away from things that we don't. But when all we're focused on, all we talk about is the negativity, that's what you're getting more of. So be conscious of what you're saying. Be conscious of what you're thinking. Try to turn it around as often as you can, right? As quickly as you can. And understand that it's okay sometimes to have bad moments. But we don't want those bad moments to turn to bad hours, and then bad days, and then bad weeks, and then before you know it, you just have a pretty bad, sucky life. We don't want that. So be conscious of what you're thinking, right? Turn it around if it's negative, and really, really be mindful of what you're saying. Whatever comes out of your mouth, even if you think it's not true, like you think it's impossible for anything good to happen, don't voice it. Don't say it. Only speak in the positive. So I hope this is helpful. I know we all do that, but many times what happens is this. We actually start worrying and thinking about things that are never even going to happen. And then what happens? We consume ourselves, and then we talk about it, and then this whole spiral happens. It's like a what are those things called? A big ice. A snowball. Okay? A snowball starts out really, really small. And then all of a sudden, it starts to gain momentum and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Don't let your thoughts snowball about things that might happen that probably never will. How many times in your life have you actually, maybe thought somebody was thinking something, or thought something was going to happen, or thought somebody did something because you assumed something? So you let yourself get all in this crazy emotional, thoughts and you talked about it and you said how, you're worried about all these things and you were so far off base, it never happened. It wasn't even close to happening. You wasted all of that time and all that energy and all that negativity. It happens a lot. So watch what you're thinking, watch what you're saying, try to be positive, give yourself a break. Every once in a while, you just gotta get a little sad, but you gotta also get yourself out of it as quickly as you can. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know what else I can do for you. Be sure to turn on your post notifications so you'll know when new videos come up. And I love to hear your comments because then it lets me know what else I can help you with. So I hope this was valuable to you. As always, Krista Mashore from Krista Mashore Coaching, and make it a super awesome day. Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.